Alright guys, what is going on? My name is Tubby with a 5-point preview for tonight's Raw 5/12/2014. It doesn't even feel like I watched Raw last week after Extreme Rules. But we're on the way to Payback, a pay-per-view that, last year I don't think I was excited about, but this year I think we got some good stuff brewing. Let's start off right away because I haven't really had the chance to talk about this because I haven't made any videos in the past week about WWE or anything. And I haven't been doing any of these videos where we actually talk or break down Raw in quite a bit. And one of the things that I keep hearing a lot of people complain about is Daniel Bryan and the way they're building him, the way they're pushing him. They're basically burying everything they worked for. And a lot of people are upset and complaining with the fact that, that Kane's got a title shot, and the fact that he went from losing at Mania in 2 minutes to now getting a championship match. It's like, you just have to lose at Mania, and then you go on and you'll get a title shot, apparently. A lot of people think. Or that's what happened. And I have to say, this whole storyline with Stephanie McMahon acting like, she's on her side and the whole car angle, I thought for a championship storyline, I wasn't a big fan of it. I think the big thing that you kept hearing now, that I think even Mick Foley brought this out, is like, you're basically rehashing the whole Zack Ryder thing. And look what happened to Zack Ryder. He was on this major push, and they put him in kind of the storyline to the whole car thing, and then it basically derailed his whole career. Now, with Daniel Bryan, he's champion now, but it's like he's still taking a back seat to other people. Even as champion, he's still kind of taking that back seat role, and I know he was featured a lot, with the storyline last week with the whole car and, the multiple segments and Kane basically getting up. I still have a hard time believing Kane is a legitimate contender right now, especially after everything that Daniel Bryan went through. He's beating the game Triple H, and then now he's going up against Kane. I feel a little bit bummed, but at the same time, I understand it. He needed a first opponent. Things kind of changed. Daniel went through a lot, and that's kind of the best they came up with other people tied in a storyline. And, the two things I hear are, Daniel Bryan's getting buried, and the second one is people are already talking about who's going to beat Bryan for the title. Now, me personally, I still think that a whole Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania would steal the show. And it's a good thing because it seems like at SummerSlam, this is what I was reading, I think on Bleacher Report or something similar, was it looks like SummerSlam is a place where new matches happen. Things like CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar, things that haven't happened before. John Cena versus Daniel Bryan, big matches that have, been kind of unique, and I'm super excited for it. Now, with the whole Daniel Bryan-Kane thing, are they going to continue to go on? When Extreme Rules was over and Daniel, cleanly beats Kane, right? He beats Kane, and then Kane is still after him. I have to be honest, I was disappointed. I thought it was going to be a one pay-per-view thing. I was like, I'm all for it. Oh, no. Then we get this. But then, the more I thought about it, was like, think of the theme of Payback. It's Payback, right? Kane's coming out, but there really is no reason for Kane to come out. Like, he lost clean to a running knee. Like, if there was some sort of bullshit happened or, he did something to sneak away barely, I could understand that. Because I actually like Daniel Bryan's title reign as the World Heavyweight Champion when he was a heel, and I know that's more of a heelish thing to do, where you just retain your title by any means necessary. I kind of like that. I don't like Daniel Bryan as kind of the sniffling, hiding champion. He was this strong brute. He was in 2-on-1, 3-on-1 matches for the last year, and then now Kane is scared shitless of Kane. I'm still hoping for a Dr. Shelby type intervention where he comes back, and I think the best thing would be if Dr. Shelby came back, looks at Kane once, and then Kane and I talked about this on CM Pulse's review of Extreme Rules, where he could just come out and then basically bury Kane. Like, Kane just buries Dr. Shelby. He comes back, Kane, and then he just fucking tombstones him and basically kills him. Like, that would, I thought that would be pretty sweet. As far as, this whole storyline where it's going, guys, you just got to kind of deal with it. I think it's kind of something they worked out last minute, and you know what, I'm okay with it for right now, because Daniel does need somebody, and I'm glad they're not rushing into putting him up against somebody big who would potentially steal that title. And, plans are still for him to go on and, have a good reign as the number two face in the company. So, what else is going on Monday Night Raw? We've got Wyatt's still going after, still more to come as far as the whole storyline with, John Cena goes. I still want that one to carry on. I think that's got the potential to carry on a little bit longer. You got Antonio Cesaro, the King of Swing, who actually just released a new T-shirt, which is the ugliest T-shirt I've ever seen. It looks like a Kmart special, like the Eagle one from Mania. The King of Swing, I'm liking where they're kind of going with it. You've got RVD. And one of the big things that a lot of people were talking about, it was on the 5-point preview for WWE, was the Ravishing Russian Lana. And I'm so glad they let a bodyguard come out with Lana, because Lana is just fantastic, with the Ravishing Russian. And I don't want them to keep carrying on with Xavier Woods. I wish he would do something different, but at the same time, what are you going to do with him right now? Who are you going to put him up against? Who else is going to job out to him? So I think we're just going to kind of have to deal with it and where they're going with him. I do like the fact that they're kind of pairing with Putin right now, especially because, Russia is kind of, taking over countries with Crimea, with Ukraine, and it kind of fits into the social thing right now. And a lot of people may not be happy with it, but I'm okay with it. Next up is something that, kind of makes me a little bit excited. Wait a minute. Hold on. The 5-point preview, they compared Rusev to Godzilla. It's Rusev who might be the true behemoth. He's beat Kofi twice. I don't necessarily see that as a huge thing. Personally, I think he's got to go up against somebody, a little bigger to potentially get that big pop. The Shield and Evolution. I still like the fact that they were able to beat him, take him down, and now Evolution, you adapt or you perish. And, they put him into singles matches. They went 1 for 2. And honestly, I don't even think I remember watching the singles matches. To be 100% honest, I had to go back and, kind of check in on them. I think I still like the fact that they're pushing on a little bit farther. A lot of speculation was that Batista was going to get up and leave, and he would no longer be around because he'd go back to promote his movies and everything. And I'm glad for the most part that he's not. I like the fact that he's staying around a little bit longer. Evolution is getting kind of the upper hand right now. And, kind of taking it to the Shield, because I think the Shield as face, I was so ready for them to turn and, have Roman and, Dean turn on each other, and then, one of them goes their separate ways. But there was so much left for them in the tank of being a face stable that I think the Shield are going to go on to have one of the best stable runs of all time. I think the way they're on now, the way they've been built, the wins they've had, especially since they've debuted, they've done such a good job. I honestly do think they have a potential to be one of the best stables in WWE. And, especially in the last couple of years, minus Nexus, because I really did like Nexus, but their build has been absolutely fantastic, and they still have more. And going up against Evolution will do nothing but, continue that on that path until maybe they break up for a Triple H and Roman Reigns thing. I still think they have a lot, longer to go, and I'm really glad WWE did not break them up. It makes me pretty happy. And with Sheamus kind of getting a push, Sheamus is the new United States champion. I know a lot of people were speculating that the only reason they did that was because they're going on this new UK tour. There's still speculation possibly about them combining the titles, and I think that would be pretty sweet. Although I would like to see a Wade Barrett-Sheamus tag team. I think that'd be pretty funny if Sheamus were to go heel. I was pretty upset that he won the Battle Royale last week and he became the new United States champion. I thought it was... I don't think Sheamus needs the U.S. title. I think they're just trying to use him, and especially if it is just for the UK title. For the UK tour, it bums me out a little bit, but at the same time, the UK doesn't get to see them as much as we do touring. So, it is what it is, and I'm okay with it. I like the fact that Triple H is still throwing around his weight to the Shield. Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud. The Exotic Express debuted last week, and I thought was a pretty, honestly, if I'm not going to lie, was a pretty shitty debut. He comes out, he throws Jack Swagger over the rope, and that's it. I was like, I think we were trying to debate how many of those were independent wrestlers, and pretty much all of them. I thought it was pretty funny. Overall, I like Adam Rose. I think he's going to be a lot more successful with Adam Rose than he ever would have been Leo Kruger. But I do think there's still something there, and whether or not it goes Adam Rose versus Jack Swagger, it's a nice way to break it up, because then I think what they're going to do, Antonio versus RVD, right? Trying to get some payback on him. I still think that's going to be pretty sweet. And Adam Rose, like I said, if you haven't watched NXT, guys, I completely am for Adam Rose than I am for Leo Kruger. We still have the debut of Bo Dallas. I don't know when he's going to debut. Is he debuting tonight? Are we finally all going to be Bo Leavers, guys? Is that what's happening? I'm a Bo Leaver. I like Bo. If you watched his last thing, his kind of farewell speech from NXT, I was pretty pumped for it, and I think him on the main roster is going to be very interesting, and I'm going to enjoy it. The Wyatt family, they've been on a roll. He beat John Cena at the pay-per-view. I thought it was kind of a weird way to do it, but they went in, they beat him. Now, where do they go from here? Are the Wyatt setting their face on something bigger? On SmackDown, they went in and won the 6-man tag. I would be okay with it going on longer. Like I said, I was all for John Cena versus Bray Wyatt because I think they can bring something out of John that we haven't been able to see in a while versus, just like Randy Orton or, somebody like that. The Wyatts are a completely different animal that we still don't know so much about. And, the promos for Bray are just getting better and better and making me, more excited. And the more they go at it, I'm still wondering what's going to be the next match, what's going to push John Cena. Because I don't think John Cena is ever going to be a heel, but the way they can push John Cena to be a little bit more unique and get a little bit more out of his comfort zone, that's something that we haven't seen in a long time for John Cena, and especially the Wyatts being something more unique. I'm pumped for it. I think they're going to, bring something out of Cena. And like I said, I hope this continues on for a little bit. And tonight, hopefully, because Payback's in, I think, 3 weeks now. It's on the 1st of June, right? So they have a couple more weeks still to build for Payback. And I think the best thing they could do is to continue that one and then have him beat him at the pay-per-view. I hate to be that guy, but I think, oh man, Daniel Bryan completely fails. I think you beat Wyatt again, or you have some sort of screwy finish or some sort of a great match. I think their WrestleMania match had so much storytelling, was so good that when that didn't happen at Extreme Rules, a lot of people were upset about it, but it was still telling a story, and I thought they did an okay job. And oh, there we go, big missile dropkick from Daniel Bryan, taking down Kane. Hopefully the whole Kane Daniel Bryan thing doesn't last too much longer. Oh man, he reversed it. No, we didn't want that to happen. We were going for the running high knee. Kane reverses it, shuts us down. But you can't reverse that out of nowhere. Daniel Bryan beating down Kane. Hopefully they make Daniel look a little stronger. I know Kane's the monster, guys, but it's in the way of the booking. So let me know what you think is going to happen on Monday Night Raw, guys. Are you a fan of Adam Rose? Are you excited for Bo Lever? What about the Wyatts, the Shield, everything that's going on? The King of Swing, Antonio Cesaro. Sheamus is the new U.S. champion. Guys, let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, make sure to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Tubby email, my live streams, twitch.tv/Tubby email. Until next time, we will see you all later.